Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt either calm or anxious without knowing why? The truth is, the space we live in speaks to our minds in ways we don't always notice. The home isn't just a place to sleep or eat, it's a sanctuary that directly shapes our mental health, our stress levels, and our overall happiness. From the color of the walls to sunlight streaming through windows, from the organization of our belongings to the quality of air we breathe, everything matters. Today, we're exploring the profound connection between healthy homes and happy minds, the science behind home and mental health. When researchers examine the link between housing quality and mental well-being, the findings are striking. People living in homes with poor conditions, inadequate lighting, excessive noise, and structural issues report higher rates of anxiety, depression, and stress. In fact, studies show that individuals who feel secure in their home environment are significantly less likely to experience symptoms of anxiety and depression compared to those living in substandard conditions. The brain is constantly processing signals from our surroundings. Every cluttered corner, every dark room, and every uncomfortable temperature sends a subtle message to our nervous system. These signals either communicate safety or tension. When a person lives in a poorly maintained space, their body remains in a perpetual state of low-level stress. This means elevated cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, which affects everything from sleep quality to immune function. Housing quality isn't a luxury, it's a fundamental component of health. A stable, safe, and well-maintained home acts like a protective shield against stress and emotional turbulence. Conversely, homes with hazardous conditions, including mold, lead exposure, water damage, or inadequate ventilation, can cause lasting physical and psychological harm. Children are especially vulnerable to these environmental hazards, which can affect their development and long-term mental health outcomes. The power of light and air. One of the most transformative elements of a healthy home is natural light. Exposure to daylight regulates our circadian rhythm, boosts mood, and increases productivity. People who work or live in poorly lit environments often experience depression, reduced focus, and disrupted sleep patterns. The simple act of opening curtains during the day and maximizing natural light can dramatically improve mental clarity and emotional balance. Alongside light comes the importance of fresh air and proper ventilation. Stale air, poor oxygen circulation, and inadequate ventilation create stagnant energy in a space. Opening windows regularly allows fresh air to circulate, which clears both the physical and energetic space. Good ventilation also prevents mold growth and maintains indoor air quality, both essential for respiratory and mental health. Temperature control is another critical factor people often overlook. A home that's too cold, too hot, or inconsistently maintained creates constant discomfort that drains mental energy. When living conditions are uncomfortable, the brain expends unnecessary resources trying to regulate body temperature, leaving fewer resources for emotional processing and stress management. The declutter-mind connection. A cluttered home creates a cluttered mind. This isn't metaphorical. It's neurological. When the brain encounters excessive visual stimuli, it must continuously process and filter irrelevant information. This cognitive overload consumes mental resources, leading to reduced focus, increased anxiety, and impaired decision-making. Studies measuring cortisol levels in people's homes found that those living in cluttered spaces experienced elevated stress hormones throughout the day, while those in organized spaces had significantly lower levels. The accumulated possessions in a home represent decisions that haven't been made. Every item competing for visual attention is a micro-decision the brain must process. Over time, this mental exhaustion translates into procrastination, guilt, and shame. People often describe their cluttered spaces as draining, and the science supports this feeling. Decluttering, then, is more than tidying. It's an act of self-care that directly impacts mental well-being. When someone begins organizing and clearing their space, something remarkable happens. Removing items they no longer need creates a sense of control and accomplishment. This process elevates mood, reduces anxiety, and builds confidence. The routine of organizing also engages the body in gentle physical activity while allowing the mind to wander. which enhances creativity and mental restoration. Many people report that the act of decluttering becomes therapeutic in itself, creating a sanctuary with nature. Bringing nature indoors is one of the most powerful ways to improve mental health. Indoor plants do far more than beautify a room. They create a tangible connection to the natural world, which our brains crave. Research shows that even passive interaction with plants, simply having them present in a space, reduces stress and lowers blood pressure. Active engagement with plants, like watering and caring for them, amplifies these benefits even further. The act of caring for a living thing creates purpose and routine. Watching a plant grow builds a sense of accomplishment and connection. Plants release oxygen, purify air from toxins, and increase humidity, all of which support physical health. But more importantly, they remind us daily that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Species like pothos, peace lilies, and weeping figs are particularly effective at reducing stress while requiring minimal maintenance. The benefits of plants extend beyond the individual. Hospital patients recovering from surgery in rooms with ornamental plants reported lower blood pressure, reduced pain and anxiety, and faster emotional recovery compared to those in rooms without plants. If plants can create such profound benefits in clinical settings, imagine what they can do in your personal sanctuary. Organization aesthetics and personal expression, the way a home is organized, directly reflects and influences mental state. But organization isn't about rigid perfection, it's about creating systems that feel intuitive and personal. When everything has a designated place, the brain knows where to find items without effort, freeing mental bandwidth for more important tasks. Color psychology plays an equally important role. Warm earth tones create grounding and comfort. Soft blues promote calm focus, and strategic use of color can regulate emotional responses. The key is intentionality. When colors are chosen purposefully rather than randomly, they communicate safety and care to the mind. Personal touches matter too. Family photos, meaningful artwork, and objects that spark joy create emotional connections to the space. These items remind occupants of their identity and values. When a home reflects who someone is and who they aspire to be, it becomes a powerful tool for building self-esteem and motivation. People who curate their spaces intentionally report greater life satisfaction and stronger mental well-being. The beauty-well-being link. Beauty in a home isn't superficial, it's transformational. Research shows that perceived beauty in living spaces mediates the relationship between clutter and mental well-being. When a person views their home as beautiful, organized, and restful, their stress levels plummet and their mood elevates. This is why even small aesthetic improvements, like fresh flowers, better lighting, or rearranging furniture, can create noticeable emotional shifts. The brain processes beautiful environments with greater ease. Pleasing visual experiences reduce cognitive friction, meaning the mind expends less effort and experiences less stress when surrounded by beauty. Creating a home that feels beautiful is an investment in mental health that pays dividends daily. Building your healthy home, creating a healthy home, doesn't require dramatic renovations. Small, intentional changes accumulate into profound transformations. Start by maximizing natural light and ensuring proper ventilation. Open windows daily. Clear window coverings, and position yourself near light sources when possible. Next, begin decluttering gradually. Start with one small area, a drawer, a shelf, or a corner. Remove items that no longer serve you, using the principle of asking whether each item sparks joy or adds value to your life. As you complete each small area, the momentum builds and motivation grows. Add plants to your space. Choose low-maintenance varieties like pothos, snake plants, or peace lilies if you're new to plant care. Place them where you'll see them regularly, creating daily opportunities for connection and stress relief. Finally, organize with intention. Create systems that work for your lifestyle, not against it. Label storage containers clearly, designate homes for regularly used items, and establish simple routines to maintain order. The goal isn't perfection. It's peace of mind and reduced daily stress. The ripple effect of healthy homes, When someone creates a healthy home, the benefits extend far beyond personal mental health. People living in spaces they feel proud of are more likely to invite others over, strengthening relationships and reducing isolation. They're more productive, more creative, and more resilient during challenging times. They model healthy living for their families and communities. A home is where we spend a significant portion of our lives. It's where we rest, recover, and rebuild ourselves. When that space supports our well-being, instead of draining it, everything shifts. Mental clarity improves, stress decreases, and happiness naturally follows. The connection between healthy homes and happy minds is undeniable.